Do you think that people in Atlanta, generally business people, your constituents, do you think that they understand this concept of globalization? And what would you say to skeptics who say, hey, you're going on all these trips, you're using tax money and all this stuff?
Well, I don't use taxpayer money in most cases. That's
Okay.
one thing that need to be clear. Most of the trips I make are paid out of my own personal pocket or through the organizations that sponsor certain activities.
Your Russia trip, for example.
Yeah. Pardon me?
Your Russia trip coming up, for
Oh,
example?
the Russian trip, yes, that's not paid back by city dollars either.
Well, what would you say to those people that would bring up those issues and say?
Well, I think they need to look. I think they need to look beyond the fact that you're traveling somewhere. They have to look at why you're traveling there and what do you hope to accomplish. What's the purpose of that trip? I think those are important things. It's sort of narrow-minded when you think otherwise. I mean, you're like a boondoggers and all that. I mean, it's not that. And I don't do that much traveling, by the way. I only do when it's necessary.
Well, since we're on the subject of travel, tell us a little bit about some of the places that you've been and some of the interesting people that you've gotten to meet representing Atlanta in the world.
Well, for an example, I went with the Chamber of Commerce on the trade mission to China. We first went to Beijing and then to Wuhan and Shanghai and Hong Kong. Did it all in 8 days, meeting with top officials over there, promoting a direct flight from Atlanta to Beijing. We were hoping to get it done before they had the Olympics. We didn't quite get that, but we did get the direct flight to Shanghai. And we also was trying to push for a China embassy here in the city of Atlanta, a consulate. We felt that it's important to have a Chinese consulate here in the city of Atlanta. Still feel that and feel it's important to do that. They haven't done it yet, but we're hoping and we're making progress toward those ends.
You've been very involved in the Chinese community. Since I've covered these kinds of events, I think I've seen you at nearly every China-related announcement or government delegation. So, talk about why China has such a special place in your job in promoting Atlanta internationally.
Well, China manufactures an awful lot of products that are used here in the city and all over the world. Actually, they have a bustling economy. I would say 95% of the cranes that are manufactured are probably over in China right now. They're doing, so much activity. And, they have sort of opened their arms to us. And they want to do business with Americans. And we want to do business with them. And so I think that's the rationale for. But, China's not the only, place that we try to stimulate friendship, cultural exchange, and economic development exchange, which is very important to the city.
I noticed that you have some books on Moscow here.
Yes.
And I know, tonight you're leaving to go to Argentina. Can you just talk about your upcoming travel?
The trip to Argentina is a trip by Seafall. They've asked me to accompany them. I think all of the mayors, particularly the mayors of all the cities in South America, are invited to this conference, and many of the other elected officials also. And I feel honored to be asked to accompany with the leadership from Seafall to this conference, talk about economics and other important issues. One of the other things that, after this trip, of course, I've been asked to lead a delegation of Americans to Moscow and St. Petersburg, Russia. And I look at that as a good opportunity as well. I'm carrying some information with me from the mayor and the president of council.
So what are your plans? Are these the kinds of things that you're going to do after you've retired? You're going to
Well, I'm
concentrate?
probably open to them. Yes, I probably will get more involved in that to some degree.
So you're still going to be promoting Atlanta, even though
Oh
not,
yes,
not
oh
officially.
yes. Atlanta's my home. I'm a Grady baby, and I love the city. I love the people of the city. All of my kids are born here. My wife was born here.